Welcome back, my glorious baby dolls, for another very most special update. Do you want to know what's been happening today in crypto? This is Dave Portnoy, just a regular American guy. I'm just a regular American guy. Okay, so Dave Portnoy, I'm not making this up, he tweeted 21 poop coins in a row and they all rugged just now. Okay, so I know it's hard to believe, I'll show you. And it is actually crazy, man. This is his post. He literally just did this tweet here. This is for the trenches. Don't say I don't love you guys. The first ever Trencher Derby. You know what? It's funny, man. First one, Citizen Bull, Final Gambit, American Promise, Journalism. Oh, man, what are these names? Cold Battle, Sandman, Sovereignty, Chunk of Gold. Oh man, what is doing, bro? Oh man, he knows how to get attention, man. He goes, emergency press conference. There was a naughty word sign at our Philly bar last night. I am shaking. I'm so mad. Oh man, so he knows how to grab their attention, but just a regular American guy. Friends, these are the coins, by the way. What is? You know, friends, in the earlier days of crypto, scamming used to mean something. When you would rug, it used to hurt. Now it's just like, oh yeah, everything rugs. Oh man. You know what it's like, actually? It's like people's opinions on the internet. When there was like only 6 people using it, if one person said something violent, they're like, oh no, death threat on the internet. Now it's like, yeah, it's the internet. What do you expect then? What do we do when it comes to these events? You can't get any edges. The network effect is being split too much. That's why we try to follow a memes, cults, religions archetype. That's why in PulseChain's a cult chain bootstrapped by Hex. Right? The better version of Bitcoin, the improved, upgraded version of Bitcoin. So look, obviously the prices on them, on say PulseChain, for example, it doesn't have to just be that. It could be literally everything. They're all reflected in the business cycle, as I explained for you many times. Even today, we haven't been doing much. Everything's been pooping around out here. PulseChain till 75% below sack price. Remember what happened about 24 to 48 hours ago? Catty dumped all her pulse. She dumped like 500k worth and sent it down 15% in a second and bridged it out and put it in Tornado Cash. Disappeared. People are then obviously confused. Is it, are they bad actors when it comes to pDAI and PulseChain and stuff out here? I don't know, dude. I don't know. Everything's still hanging around. This is the... I like it on the linear chart, actually. It just looks like... I like these things when they just round off. But, yeah, it's all a reflection of the business cycle, friends. Remember, I've done my ultimate macro guide. You really got to watch my ultimate macro guide. It just literally explains everything you need to know. Global liquidity, why we're ultimately bullish, why everything's eventually going to go up. Yeah, we've had a very, very, very abysmal, poopy experience so far. And yeah, it just feels, remember friends, I'll give you the examples, such great metaphors here, highest value content in crypto, all right? Don't worry about the domino that fell on you, okay? Just worry about the domino you're going to fall on. So the one that fell on you, like if you want to know, because people ask me, Sommi, why were we cursed so bad, man? Why? Look, the real answer is because they printed, if you want to look at the domino just before us, yeah? We had zombie virus. So they printed a lot of money fast. Because we printed a lot of money fast, yes, we had inflation that hit high. You know, there's supply chain issues. And then, because that inflation hit high, the US Fed, right, major loser Jerome Powell, had to hike rates really aggressively, and the US dollar went on a huge run. Now, I know, friends, when you see a US dollar go up like this, you don't think much. Oh, 22%. No, that's an enormous amount. All of the world's debt, all of it, literally every single dollar debt in the world, get it in a pile, 50% of it is US dollars. 50%. So I don't even know how much debt there is in the world, okay, whatever it is. Yeah, we could probably find out how much debt in the world. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I just looked it up. It's about 315 trillion. Oh my god. Yeah, it's 315 trillion. My gosh. So you can imagine, friends, there's 300 trillion. So 150 of it is US dollars. So if you do, this is wild, right? If you do 1.2 times 150 you now have 180. So pretty much an extra $30 trillion of debt was basically put on everyone in the world in 2022 from major loser Jerome Powell's rate hikes that went up. Okay. See what I mean? So, but because it hiked it so much, everyone had to sell all their assets to pay off the debts, right? And that pushes up the strength of the US dollar. So why are we, like you're saying, why is it taking a long time? Well, pretty much because it went up so far, right? It's taken a very, very, very long time for, I guess, all these, you know, every single oil tanker, every company and business out here to slowly, I guess, get back on their feet. That's pretty much it, you know? But then obviously then you go, oh, but Sommi, what caused the zombie virus? What was that domino? Do you see what I mean? You keep always going back and back and back and back. It doesn't really matter. But that's, if you want to know, that's the answer. And we did not know it was going to be like that. No one knew it was going to take this long because you literally have zero sample size of 0. It's literally, yeah, it never happened before. Okay. And if you want to go to a black swan event that was horrible for business ISM, you got to go back to 1980. All right. So this period was about, if we go back here, when it crossed below 50, yeah, there's 41 months. Okay. Literally 41, 42 months. Yeah. By the way, there is this zip up here. But yeah, it's pretty much, I just counted as 41 for like an absolute shocker period. I mean, look at even this period. This period was 27 months as well. But it was still hanging around above 52. So people were still expanding, you know. And that's why if you check this out, this one was about 26 months for here, right? You see these? So yeah, it's very unfortunate. The one where, I mean, let's check this out. How long did it take for this one? This one was 18 months. And then this one across was 36 months. But it still hit 52. Okay, we still hit 52. Look at this trash. Yeah, friends, just this sad. It never happened in crypto cycles before. We're on month 30. So it might be like another, like, we still haven't hit 52. You know, so now maybe the next one's going to be 49. The month after will be 51. And then month after finally 52. That's like 3 months extra. That's like 33 months. So that's what it comes down to. Yeah, there's nothing we would have done to see it coming. But we've already lived through it. You know, so people are going to ask us questions about this in the future. Binance, the official Binance, has been posting this, friends. Throwback to some classic Bitcoin critiques from back in the day. And I said, this reminds me of something. So check this. Why Bitcoin is doomed to fail. Bitcoin is a joke. Bitcoin is a bubble we've seen before. Rest in peace, Bitcoin. Why Bitcoin can't be a currency. The Bitcoin bros have lost. Bitcoin is a bubble. Is this the end for Bitcoin? A prediction. Bitcoin is doomed to fail. And yeah, what it reminds me of what everybody says about PulseChain, right? All the obituaries and stuff out here. And then that's for the cult. And then the cult within a cult, it reminds me exactly of pDAI. It does. It's dead. It's dead. It's doomed to fail. It's dead. A prediction. Why it can't be a currency. That is, bro, isn't it, friends? It's not the funniest thing ever saying. Why Bitcoin can't be a currency. That's literally when people pDAI say why it can't get to $1 because it can't pay. It's literally the same thing. So it is really funny to see that as well. Shout out to my friend Mr. Meme Slayer. It's exactly like 2 years of pDAI FUD available, unbelievable. Wow, I think CZ and RH are friends. Yeah, friends, they could be. Now, Binance, the official Binance Twitter, they posted May the 4th be with you. All right, May the 4th be with you, and this looks exactly like the PulseX logo. That's why I replied to them when PulseX listing, as soon as I did it out here. And then Mr. Freedom out here reminding us. So Binance did do a tweet. They said, my pulse is pegged to Binance, where they did the pulse and peg chart out. There are no coincidences from Elon Musk. Mr. Matt Yeater, we are on when pDAI, it's $1. It's all going to be over these networks. May the 4th be with you. So yeah, there's a lot of these hints. I don't know if they're just playing around with us. Are we just going wild? Don't know what it is. But I think it still comes to you being a believer. Don't stop believing. Whoops, wasn't meant to show you that one. And yeah, when it comes down to belief, friends, liquidity, macro, all the charts here, I've made my presentation on roll power. Remember, crypto still grows at the highest, over 100% per year. The best thing outside of that is NASDAQ growing at 16% per year. You have to beat a hurdle rate of pretty much 8. And nothing grows. Like if you just get 8 to 10, you're literally just matching inflation. Okay, so it's all coming down to global liquidity. Global liquidity is rising. I've just shown you many juicy charts out here. I mean, like, this is the Bitcoin chart on top. Global liquidity pumping up over time. Yeah, so we're expecting, I guess, that next wave to come on. But just, yeah, it's been a while, man. It's been a long, long, long time. The liquidity's just been, it's been taking its sweet-ass time for it to finally show some friendship. Hopefully, like, you know, the month of Marwai, it's great. Marwai, then Juni, then Julie. These next 3 months, we'll see, I guess, where Ethereum lands off, and then we can pretty much move to the next step. And it might be an extended cycle, if you will. It might come to that. But remember, it's got nothing to do with the Bitcoin halvenings. It's all about the global debt liquidity, you know? And remember, the crunch time is in June. So they still haven't done the printing for it, which is interesting. I think they're firing up, ready to do it. And there might be like some, like, there has to be some sort of reason for them to do it. They just make up reasons. That's why, friends, like, look, if they were really, the central banks, friends, they know what they're doing. That in terms of, they know they're printing money and stealing off people. They know that. Okay, they just pretend they do this. The biggest bullshit term you ever hear is Occam's razor. Oh, Occam's razor. Occam's, everything's an Occam's razor. Occam's razor is just bullshit, like CIA-esque term, where they basically go, no. People in government are really stupid. So the most obvious, clearest answer is that these things just happen by coincidence and chance. Everything just happens by chance. It's the most predictable answer. Oh, no, somebody was just silly. They don't really hate you. So that type of thinking, friends, it's perfect for when you're trying to control a population. Because then no one ever thinks what you're doing is planned. They just think, oh, you're just reacting to things in real time. Yeah, but then they make the problem to react to. You ever thought about that? Like, are you honest? You honestly think that a pimple-faced kid was like 18 or 19, stumbled across a president rally, gets on top of a roof, blasts a bullet at Trump's head just by chance? Yeah, it's just Phil, you know? And then he had such great foresight, he swiped all his fingerprints from his entire house. And all these spoons and forks were like cleaned and missing, and half of them missing. Right? Oh, total coincidence. Oh yeah, we just can't find anything on him on the internet. Oh yeah, and by the way, CNN has never covered a single Trump rally out of like 48 of them, and then decided to cover this one. Oh yeah, and by the way, the guy who took that famous George Bush getting whispered in the kindergarten for 9/11, the guy who took that photo, that award-winning photo in the classroom, yeah, he also took the photo of the bullet flying past Donald Trump's head. Total coincidence. He was just told randomly go there and just put your frame to 4,000 pictures per second and just aim it at Trump's head during his speech for 1 hour. Yeah, totally random. Oh, Occam's razor. So, man, people will never learn. But I can't help but think, friends, is CZ and Ricardo Corazon, he actually does look like an Espanol Ricardo Corazon here. Are they friends? Maybe. Remember, friends, Richard's really, he's like elite level marketer in terms of relating to other people. So he can like probably look at, he knows CZ's value systems, and he also knows, oh, CZ, you spent 4 months in jail. The government went after you. Guess what? The government also went after me. And we both know that they were wrong. You know what I mean? That is something that they relate to that you and I pretty much, we can never relate to CZ about that. Because if CZ speaks to, say, anybody else, what are they saying? Can you list my coin? Man, can you imagine how annoying that would be? CZ's coming out here. That's the only thing people ask him about. I'm not talking about PulseChain community. Because, like, I mean, friends, screw it. Friends, if I was in a bathroom and CZ's in the urinal next to me, I'd be like, bro, open up. You got to list my coins, bro. I'd have a shot too. You know what I mean? We all got to have a shot. But it's annoying from his perspective. You know what I mean? Like every single person, that's all they want. They just want a coin listing. But, you know, that's what happens when you build an empire. And I also can't help but think, friends, a lot of these things thrown out in the universe. So Richard Hart getting removed off Interpol soon. Remember, there's rumors about that coming off soon because we heard some rumors, you know, that Richard Hart's lawyers basically, you know, I guess they've been talking or whatever. They're telling him that the SEC's case against Richard Hart, that was used as grounds for the Interpol. So they were relying on that being successful. So like, oh, let's go rinse this guy for more money. But the SEC lost. Richard Hart defeated them. So now they have no case. Now they're like, oh, we're kind of relying on that for you being guilty, but now you don't. By the way, it's also confirmed, kind of, not really confirmed, but I heard a rumor that, yeah, the PulseChain Sacrifice wallet and PulseX, it's owned by a charity in a country where there's no taxable events for a charity, which was set up before. So it was planned for this. So the government says, oh, this is my money. And then obviously the entity that owns it says, no, it's not. We live in like this country, right? Which country? I don't know, like Antarctica. Okay, or maybe Canada with maple syrup. In the land of maple syrup in Canada. Yeah, so no, there's no taxes. Okay, I don't know exactly what country. We'll see. Also, some more Easter eggs. Ansoy. How does one go about starting your own country? Very interesting. That's really weird to say. I don't know where he heard that. That's Richard Hart stuff. I've never heard anybody say that to Richard Hart. When I was at school, I remember I was a young, weak kid. I forgot what class it was, but I learned by the teacher. She told us there was a guy, I think we read about it, maybe one of the geography books or something, right? Where you learn that a guy started his own country and the American government, I think it was American government, they never went after him. They just let him call his like little farmland his own country, and he had his own little currency. And I think it was geography, right? And my teacher, I think he was Irish, Mr. Earns. Mr. Earns! Yeah, he used to say that. And he always used to say, well, he couldn't say, He'd always go, So, I was a class clown, friends. I was a class clown. So, Mr. Earns, I remember him talking to us about it. I remember he said that the US government, they did not go after him. Why? Because they go, okay, well, if the courts rule against us, there's really bad ramifications for the whole nation. So, and there's a 1% chance we'll lose. It's not worth it. So just let him do his own thing. Just don't bother. Yeah, so and then fast forward all these years later. So that was me when I was in school, you know, which is like then like a year later now. So just finished, right? I heard, you know, Richard Hart. That's kind of funny. Freudian speak. I called Richard Hart Donald Trump. I heard Richard Hart talk about starting up his own country. And then, but here's the thing. To start up your own country, you need to handle the currency part, the special economic zone stuff. Now we see Ansoy. How do you start your own country? We will show the world how once Hexico get built. Okay, so this is Don Vitor. So will Ansoy get a Hexico passport? So it is something to think about. That's why, friends, as well. Look, man, I don't care if this pisses you off. I don't give a shit. Okay? Leave. No one cares. No one cares. All right? He needs a stable coin, though. You need a stable coin that trades to the US dollar. Okay? It ain't going to be Hex. Hex drops 99%. Okay? It ain't going to be Pulse or PulseX either. Yeah? There has to be a stable coin. I don't know if it's this. I don't know. But if you're going to make a country like this, okay, because it's funny, when Richard Hart spoke about the country idea, I remember looking at it, I was like, dude, whatever this like homoerotic gay orgy island is, I'm not going anywhere near it. Because when I was thinking country, I actually thought he meant a physical island. And I was like, dude, you're going to have literally a sausage fest on that island. There's literally going to be one chick, and it's going to be like, okay, Bonnie Blue had like 1,050 guys. This one's going to have like, okay, there'll be like 6 dudes on the island. It'll be like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like there'll be, it won't be the type of island you and I are thinking about, friends, with the xylophones and the mermaids doing the backflips and, you know, the nice coconut trees and stuff out here. But little did we know from 2021, I don't think he's actually talking about, maybe he is, a physical actual island. I think it's a digital island. You know, you have a digital passport. There are countries probably out there. He's probably never spoken about it. Doesn't want anyone to take his ID. Where you get a passport out here. You know, some of us get, there's some random country. I forgot the name of it. If you sign up to it, you can apply for like, in 30 days, they'll give you like a passport. You pay a bit of money and then you can use it to trade on leverage exchanges. Because you now have like their passport. So a country just sets it up and people just pay. Yeah, it's degen traders. Just pay that, right? So I'm wondering if Richard does something like that. You know, and so that's kind of funny. We all thought it was going to be like the gayest island of all time that no one wants to go visit. But yeah, it might actually be something out here. But you need a currency, man. You need a stable coin if you're going to do that. This is high level stuff. That's kind of like, that's why everyone as well participated in the PulseChain Sacrifice. They go, oh, okay, this guy's got big dreams, but then you kind of, yes, it's been a long 4 years, hasn't it, friends? So where are we going to go from here? Well, the month of Marwai, friends. The month of Marwai. Man, we've had 5 red monthly candles, ETH BTC. It's all about Ethereum, really. The next CME gap's 2600. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.